Hey Leo, this is Seth from Comingouttarot. If you've been here before, welcome back. If you haven't been here before, welcome. Thanks for joining me. I'm walking through a new practice where I get to help each star sign with what's coming up, what my plan is over the next month, but I'm doing this for September, so I get my feet wet. So for September 2018, the last week, I want to walk through the health, wealth, and relationships related to Leo. We're going to take a look at that. If this doesn't resonate with you, feel free to let it go. If it does, let it work with it, bring it in, and allow it to be a part of how you manage your week. The reason why I say it may not resonate with some people is we're all born at different times. So while you may have a Leo, you may have a totally different resonance with this because of the time you were born, the place you were born, because it affects your moon signs and your rising signs, which all alter what we know about that solid sun sign that we always hear about. So just wanted to throw that out there. So let's get started. What are the conditions that are surrounding Leo for the last week of September? We want to specifically know more about their health, wealth, and relationships. All right, Leo. Health, we're looking at Justice card. Wealth, Seven of Swords. This actually just came up in the health spot for Cancer. And relationships, Newt, the Mother of Swords. I always like this card. I think it reminds me of someone special. So let's just start there. The Mother of Swords is a fascinating character because she is the ultimate protector. She may seem harsh, she may seem cold, she may seem like someone who doesn't have an emotional state or emotions at all. In fact, someone may think of Newt or the Mother of Swords as very, very cold, and yet she feels so much. Her challenge is that she, like the shadow of her, she can be manipulative, she can be driving without care or concern for consequence around how other people are being treated. And yet she can still feel that she cares about how other people are treated logically. It makes sense that we should care for other people. She just may not see how her actions are affecting other people. So in the relationship section, Leo, what you may experience is that you're either coming across as or working with someone in a relationship who has this type of attitude, emotional set, and way they're interacting with people. It's pretty rare that Leo becomes so ice frigid that they would reach the state of the Mother of Swords. So really my inclination is that you're interfacing with someone who is that way. It's even hard for you to even move in this direction because you're so warm all the time. Excuse me, you're so open to inviting others into being a part of your circle, unless they have dissed you in some way and not acknowledged the regalness for which you stand, in which case you may actually come off as the Mother of Swords, even though that's not who we normally see you as. So while I think this is more someone that you're interfacing with and you're going to need to learn how to work with that relationship because it's an energy that just does not mesh with that fire energy. You get more riled up working with this person than anything. And if you have to work with them a lot next week, like this is suggesting, it's going to be a challenging week in with that relationship in particular. If for some reason this is actually you, and this is because this is general and not specific to a person, but rather a wide berth of Leos, If this is specific to you and you're finding that that's something that may be happening to you, then check yourself, because you will burn bridges unless that's what you want to do. Because when Leo turns off their fire and moves into that space of just like calculatedness, it can be pretty intense. And there's the other cards that are here that we're going to get to are not cards that lend themselves to warmth. They're cards that lend themselves to looking for exactness and fairness. So I think next week is going to be pretty challenging for you, Leo, because you're sitting in a very uncomfortable place, especially around your relationships. All right, let's look at wealth. So we're working backwards here. Instead of health, wealth, relationships, we started with relationships and we're working the other way. So here's wealth. We've got the Seven of Swords. Whenever swords come up in wealth for me, it's frustrating, because I know that you're in a state of frustration around finances. Like, they're just not making sense. I don't know how to, if I was Leo in this case, I'd be going through things like, I don't know how to balance that checkbook. I don't know why that bill I don't know how I forgot to pay that bill. I don't know where these additional expenses are coming from. I didn't realize that I bought that thing on Amazon and I hadn't paid for it yet. Like, it's a complete loss of control mentally over where your finances are, and it's a struggle. So this last week doesn't mean that your finances have, like, your money's gone away. It means that you're struggling to maintain control over your finances. So if that's bothersome to you, I would think that some Leos are just kind of like, yeah, whatever, my husband, partner, boyfriend, whatever, can take care of it. But if it's bothersome to you, then there are things that you can do to take care of it. So now that you know that next week is going to have financial challenges for you and how you manage your money and what you're learning about your money, then get on top of it today. Take some time, or even tomorrow if today's too late, take some time, take a look at where your money is, where your finances are, get that organization together so that you don't feel like it's like all over the place crazy. You might be able to work that way, but your money doesn't. So either get the help that you need to get your affairs in order, or do it if you have some aptitude for it, instead of ignoring it and then recognizing later that you should have listened to the advice that you received so you weren't going crazy all next week. All right. Health. What's going on the health side? Another major arcana. All of these so far, every one of these readings so far have had at least one major arcana card in it. So for our health, Leos, for our health, I'm not a Leo. Well, wait, I've got a Leo rising, so this is somewhat related to me. For our health, if you are not finding ways to get balance in your life, work-life balance, emotional balance, all the things that require balance in order for us to feel like we have taken advantage of everything we want to do, and yet we're not like drugged through the mud and sick the next day because we didn't care for our body, and our mental health for that matter. All of those things are important. So balance next week, super, super important for Leos. If you don't find the balance in your self-care, then there's going to be all those other problems, the relationship problem, the financial problem of trying to get your head around your finances are going to be super exacerbated. So I would encourage you to find a way to pull back, to do some self-assessment about where you are physically, where you are mentally, and then do what you need to do to practice the self-care to ensure that your mental state is top-notch and where it's meant to be, so you're presented how you want to be seen, as on top of your shit, and that your physical state is also cared for, because if you're not caring for that, then you're not going to look as good as you want to look. And we all know Leo looks the best when they walk in that door. It's like watching an episode of Pose, right? It's Leo. Pose was made for Leo. So, Leo, self-care is the name of the game. All right, now let's take a quick look at the quintessence of this. 20. Relationships. We talked a lot about relationships at the beginning. The Lover's card is a quintessence, or 6. Also, this is actually... You've built a lot of relationships, Leo, and the relationships that you've built are going to carry you through the week. This is not unusual for you to rely on others to carry you through, especially when you're not in your like fire glory, but when you're kind of all stuck in your head. You need other people to help carry you so that you can get through that and focus. Rely on those relationships this week. They're gonna take you further and support you. Encourage those relationships to also help you with your self-care so that you're not totally alone. I would encourage you to realize that you're not. You got people and they can help you. Okay, so reach out for that help. Leo, I hope this is helpful. If it is, please let me know in the comments. I'd also love to hear if there's something else that I can do for you in these to make them as accessible and important to you as possible. Just leave me a comment and tell me what might you like to see, or how this has been helpful for you in preparing for your week. You can always also find out more about me over at Comingouttarot.com, and if you're interested in getting readings with me, you can book those over there as well. So I hope you have a good rest of your Sunday, and I hope this week is something that you wrap your arms around, Leo, because it has the potential to just wipe you out, and if you don't. So get out there and make some connections with your friends. Tell them you need some help. All right. Thank you. See you all later.